Hey, Cardinals fans, welcome back to the Redbird Rundown, presented by I-70 Sports Media, your home for all things St. Louis Cardinals. I'm Jonathan, here with Matt today. Before we get into everything, we would love if you would share our podcast links on Spotify and Apple with your friends. You can find them there. You can also find them on Facebook, Blue Sky, and Twitter. But today, we are going to recap the past series, as we always do. We're going to break down the results of this interesting trade deadline. We're going to award our pitcher and player of the month. And just a quick spoiler, awarding the pitcher was extremely difficult. And we will share what we're going to watch heading into the next week's set of games. But before we get into all the recaps and everything that we've gone through with the trade deadline, we need to check the record and our vibe check very quickly. We were 1-5 since we last spoke to you, which is not good. Spoiler. Right?
Not good.
Matt, how do we feel vibe check-wise since we've last spoken? We've had the trade deadline. We've had some interesting games against the Padres and the Marlins. How do you feel?
Okay, here's my vibe check. Lottery ping pong balls. Just bring them.
Oh, yeah.
This is not going to be super popular with everybody, but this season is over. For all intents and purposes, we are not competing. Now, if we go on some kind of just insane run and make the playoffs, I'm not going to be mad about it. That would be great, but the franchise has clearly waved the white flag on 2025. And so I don't like losing. I don't want to lose. And if we're going to lose, I hope we do it in mildly entertaining fashion. But I know because of this new lottery system for the MLB, there are limits on how high the draft pick is that we can get. But I love J.J. Weatherholt and Liam Doyle. And if we're going to have this pain, then let's do the pain. Let's get the benefit out of this. And so, yes, let the lottery ping pong balls come our way.
Mine's going to just play perfectly on yours, and it's ready for the second half.
Okay.
It's right. Okay. I'm ready for everything you just said.
Okay.
What happened? I really need to look. You mentioned this. I really need to look and understand how high of a pick we can get.
Yeah.
Because last year we were, over 500 and got a better pick than we were 20 games under 500.
Yes,
and that's just lottery
ping
luck.
pong balls, baby.
Right.
I want to say off the top of my head that we are barred from the top 10.
Okay.
But that's just off the top of my head. I haven't looked. That for some reason that's sticking in my craw there. That does kind of put a damper on my little plan here because I think the kind of prospect you could get with the second, third, fourth pick is considerably different than number 10. So anyway, but listen, I think that's where we're at. We might as well embrace it.
Yep. Well, let's get into telling the fans here how we are embracing that because our series were a little interesting against the Padres and the Marlins and now the Padres again. So we will get through this quickly. Since the last time we spoke, I think we were live podcast updating when Willie was getting plunked. That was fun to watch back and listen to, of course. We lost that game as a 3-1 loss, really nothing other than just people getting hit. That's what happened in that one. McGreevy came out for his awaited, the king is coming home, right? That's what it felt like, right? Like he's walking through the streets.
Told you guys on this podcast, McGreevy would not be the savior of the rotation. He'll be better than this, but I'm telling you, this is going to happen with him sometimes. It is.
Yeah, it is. I wrote in my notes that McGreevy got shellacked. I don't get to use the word shellacked very often.
Nope.
That was fun. Tagged for 7 runs.
I would say it was a double portion of shellacking, like not one coating, but 2 or 3 coatings. I would say.
He's definitely feeling good with that. All right, so we lost that, or we split the series. It was 2-2. The last 2 games, we kind of went out with a whimper there.
We did.
Marlins come to town. Palante throws a gem. First game. Kind of couldn't believe it. He is a confounding pitcher to look at from an advanced metric perspective to figure out what's wrong with him. Because it's all very similar. It's just game by game. The results are different, which is Andre Palante for you.
He is the Cardinals rotation in a microcosm for the last 10 years. But because of this contact profile that we've been talking about all year, he's going to have good ones. He's going to have bad ones. It's the same with Michaelis. It's the same with Fetty. It's the same with McGreevy. This is what we do. And so this is just what you're going to get.
Yeah, so he throws 7 innings, no runs. Now you're probably thinking it's the Marlins. Well, the next 2 games, they kind of spanked us a little bit here. So game 2, Sonny, he was fine. Gave up 3 over 5. That line is not perfect, but he's just kind of he's wavering here. And I have some thoughts on Sonny later on in the pod. It's the thing I'm looking for, but Our offense couldn't do anything against our old friend Sandy Alcantara, who every time I see him go out there, I don't care what his ERA says this year, it hurts. It
His last
hurts.
two starts have been very good, the ours and the one right before us. So maybe he's coming back into form a little bit. I don't know.
I I just wonder, that because when they asked Mo a couple years ago, or anytime they ask him what's the trade that keeps you up at night, it's this one, Ozuna for Gallon
Oh,
and
of
Alcantara.
course. Yeah,
Oh yeah, do you think he feels good up in his little suite whenever Alcantara's painting 99 on the corner? It's like, boy, you know what we could use is that.
we sure could.
Yeah, so we lose 5-0 there. Get to the last game of the series, the rubber match. Michaelis was fine, honestly. He strung together two now that were okay. He gave up 2/6. Offense just couldn't do anything. We lost 2-0. So we lose the Marlins series. We get into the Padres series here, game one. Libby was cruising, gets to the fifth, and Willie makes a Willie play where he throws it, very minor league, or little league, I should say, looking play, where he is frustrated by something and he throws it across the diamond and they score, and it just unraveled for Libby after that.
Mm.
We lost 4-0 or 4-1. Did you see that play, Matt?
I did not. No.
Yeah, he Gorman threw it over to first and he couldn't corral it because Gorman kind of threw it too far out where he's going to hit the runner. Willie misses it. He runs and gets it, and he throws it to third, but he throws it like 107 in the dirt. It literally skipped past three guys. They scored a run, and it was just a disaster after that. So Willie giveth and Willie taketh. That's the theme there. Okay, so we got two more games against the Padres, but let's get into the real meat here, the stuff that really matters. The trade deadline has come and gone. It was July 31st. There was a record of trades this last week, this last trade deadline throughout the whole league.
Yeah.
We completed 3 trades. We traded Helsley, we traded Matz, and we traded Maton, which was very predictable, right? I think we thought we were going to do that. So before we get into each of the returns and who they are and what we're thinking about them, Matt, how do you feel overall about the trade deadline? How did we do? Overall thoughts about the trade deadline in general?
Yeah, I have two trains of thought, and I think the first one is more important in that this is all fine to me. If these trades are like, if we're trying to do the old like win, lose, or draw on the trades, I think, look, here's what we did. We traded 3 relievers that are not going to come back on this team next year for a team that is not going to make the playoffs. So basically, there is no cost to us whatsoever because these guys are not going to make the difference between winning the division and not. So if any of these prospects that we get into here in a minute, if any of them make the big leagues, I would say that we won all 3 trades because we just got this 6-pack of prospects for free, essentially. And again, we didn't trade any guys that were going to net us something incredibly exciting. I think some of these guys are interesting, but we just need to recognize and realize what this is. We played it extremely safe. We only did what we had to do. And if any of these guys makes any kind of major league appearance, it's going to be a huge win for us.
I totally agree. I've been reading some of the national writers discuss how, who won and who lost. And there's a couple of them that have skewered Mo for the returns on Helsley and some of these guys that maybe are like, we'll talk about what we got from the Red Sox and how he's maybe past what he could be. Maybe he's not really anything. And you just have to remember the market determines what these returns are. Okay, they do. And last week I failed to mention, I totally forgot that Johan Duran was on the market, right? That's who the Phillies ended up trading for. They're the closer from the Twins. He has 2 years left of control.
Correct.
Helsley, he has nothing. This is it. He's a 2-month rental, and we got 3 prospects for him. So I'm with you in that overall state of mind that, listen, if any of these guys pan out, these are all rentals. Think about this. These guys, they could all 3 sign with us next year. I don't want that to happen, but theoretically, you could just cash in on this, and somebody could come back to you. So I'm with you. I think we did fine, personally. I would not say like, oh, great, Mo went out with a whimper. I don't think that at all. I think we were fine. I think he maximized on what he could. And I guess we'll get into it and see what we think about these guys individually, unless you got anything else.
Well, yeah, I do. That's my other train of thought on this, is that Mo did Mo to a T.
Yeah, he did.
He did the least amount that he could do. He only did the things that made sense. He didn't take any risks. Now, let me say this real quick. I didn't want him to be taking the risks, although I did see reporting that Heimblum picked all these prospects. And again, that made me feel good. I don't know if any of them will pan out, but we get into the prospects, you will see we went for a strikeout punch and we went for power on the bats, and that is exactly what we need to be doing.
Yep.
But the fact that I did not want Mo to be trading Donovan or be trading Newt Bar into making
Yeah.
these kind of decisions, I'd rather Bloom be doing that in the offseason. It also, this is so Mo. This is what he has done for the last 10 years. His first
Yeah.
10 years of his tenure were very good. The last 10 years, I am so serious about this, is like he has tried to the way he has managed this franchise has just led to this slow decline in never taking any chances and never spending any big money and never trading any big pieces and never ever going for it. And this is just what we have been for the last decade, doing the least we can, getting these incremental returns. None of these guys are going to be stars. This is Mo to a T.
It is, and I'm actually pretty grateful that he didn't
Yeah, I
entertain
agree.
really any kind of discussion. I mean, he got calls on. They said
He
Burleson,
did.
Newt, and Donnie, the
Yep.
left-handed bats,
Yep.
and he said that is basically a Heim decision in the offseason. That's exactly what we said we wanted him to do this last week. Was just be patient, trade the rentals, trade the guys we know we can trade. And I did think it was interesting that we opted for lower A talent. And
Hmm.
like when it was happening, I was a little confused by that. But then I realized, and after his comments, that we have a more revamped minor league system now. We're spending all
Yes.
this money in doing this. You get raw talent. That's what he said. We went for the best raw talent. Honestly, like this is perfect. Okay, great. These guys that are down there, if they have power, they have strikeout punch. Let these dudes we've hired and we've poured all this money into. Maybe we can shape these guys into something that these
Yeah.
other teams could not. I don't know.
I think that was smart because I think if you're getting prospects on the cusp of being at the major league level, the ceilings on those prospects are probably lower with
I
what we
agree.
were trading. So if you reach further into the system for younger guys, to your point, this is the model now.
Yep.
And everybody's in place, and Heim has hired his entire team.
Yep.
And you've already hinted in some of our farm stuff that we've been looking at this year. Those guys are developing. They are striking guys out. We are
Yep.
like Joshua Baez is turning the corner. So maybe this is absolutely perfect. Maybe I'll be wrong. Maybe 3 or 4 of these guys will be on the roster in the future because Heim is picking and we're actually developing them and all that. But I just think this is a prime example of the last 10 years of Mozeliak and his MO has been to never risk anything. His Mo, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
His MO, I really didn't even mean to do that. His MO
Sure.
is never meant to, it never risks anything. And
Yeah.
so we've just had this slow decline, and he just has sat back and watched it happen.
Well, and again, I have to reiterate, like I didn't want him to make any kind of
Correct.
long-term decisions because he's been historically bad at that. He's been kind of bad at it, right? Like his
Well,
asset
we haven't
management.
developed anybody. We
Well,
haven't developed
that's the thing.
anybody. Yeah.
His asset management of just the overall team, right? The core
Ugh.
players of who do we keep, the log jams. I mean, like AJ Preller doesn't even know who Newt Bar is in
Nope.
the system. You know what I'm saying? The Padres GM, he'd have been traded when Newt was like in grade school. You
Yes,
know,
correct. Correct.
just that's the kind of thing where they are literally like the opposite of each other.
Well,
Right
that's
there.
not the philosophy that we
No,
take, but I
no.
appreciate what Preller does. He takes his philosophy and he does it out to the max. So if
Hmm.
you're Mo and your philosophy is we're draft and develop, and you just let the development decay from the inside, you have not done your job well. And this is what you get. We get these prospects, they don't develop.
Yeah,
Hopefully that's going to change with Bloom. I also agree
yeah,
with you 100%. I did not want Mo making big decisions, but I
no,
just thought to myself looking
yeah,
back, wow, this has been the last 10 years of why Mo has gone bad.
yeah. And this is, in my opinion, just a parting gift for us. Low A talent, low it's
Right.
these are lottery guys,
There.
high impact, right? They have high ceilings, and if they pan out, we're gonna think, thanks for that, right? Like that
Yes.
was something that we're glad you didn't get like a Luke and Baker because we're still trying to remain in contention and just pick a direction. I mean, for goodness
Yeah.
sake, just quickly, the Angels bought at this deadline. The Angels are a team who are continually doing the same things, and they have been this way for 15 years. They buy when they should sell. They never sell. It's just embarrassing. So we picked a direction. So just thankful. I'm thankful that we did do that. Whatever
We did.
happens the rest of the year, who cares, right?
For the
You know what
for
I'm
the
saying?
fans out there, yes, exactly. For the fans
Yeah.
out there looking for the like, why didn't we get any top 100 prospects? Why didn't we do this? Why didn't we do that? Well, we didn't
Yeah.
trade those guys. We
Yes.
traded expiring bullpen pieces that listen, we may see Phil Maton back in a Cardinals jersey next year. He said before he was traded he was open to re-signing. I mean, that would be hilarious.
I
Just
wouldn't hate
bring him
that.
back and see if any of the prospects we
Yeah.
got for him, if they show up to the majors, then we totally won that trade.
Yeah, that's like you just stole something and got the
Yeah.
money, you know?
Yes, yes.
Like, take this
Yes.
candy bar and the money you paid for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's get into what
Yes.
we got for Ryan Helsley. I think this is the one that's going to trip people up the most as to the return that we got.
Hmm.
So the Mets traded 3 prospects to us for Ryan Helsley.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Baez is their 8th prospect. Now, okay, I say 8th. There are multiple different places that rank these guys. There's Baseball America, there's Fangraphs, there's the MLB. So whatever I say, if you see something else, just go with whatever you want.
The
right?
ESPN prospect ranking is done by the guy who used to do the Fangraphs podcast ranking.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
So
yeah,
it's
yeah.
a prospect ranking. So it's just he's somewhere in the mid, right?
He's in the system. Yeah, he's there.
Yeah.
So he's
Yeah.
20 years old. He's in low A. And his profile is high upside power, right? He's a third baseman, but he's played other places in the infield.
Mm-hmm.
Currently, he's batting .244 with a .337 on base and a .406 slug. That's good for a .742 OPS and a .124 WRC plus in low A. So
which means
that's not
that
bad.
low A hitting environment is horrendous.
Yep.
If that batting line is 25% above the rest of the low A play. So if you're listening to that and you're like, oh my God, he's batting 240 and that's a 400 slug.
Yeah.
Okay, compare it to the other players in the league, and he's younger than most of the other players in the league. I think this is what they're trying to get at here.
Yeah, and he's also been assigned to Peoria, which is our high A team.
Right.
So that tells me that 20 years old in high A is well above the curve.
Right.
Okay. So you have to look at age and age of the league and see how they're operating. So listen, he's 24% better than anybody in low A, and he's 20 years old, and it's not necessarily a hitter's friendly environment. That's great, right? So
Yes, it is.
We're getting that's the best prospect, from the rankings perspective that we got back for Helsley.
Mm-hmm.
It's a power bat. Number 2 the second prospect we got back was Nate Dome. He's a right-handed pitcher. Again, their 14th prospect, which is right in the middle. He's 22 years old. He's in high A, and his profile out of the draft was that they thought he might be a mid-level starter potential. Like that's his ceiling, is somewhere in the middle of a rotation. Now there are 2 stats that I focus on with pitchers, and so I look at their K per 9, their strikeouts per 9 inning.
Mm-hmm.
And I look at their whip, their walks and hits per innings pitched. You could look at their walk rate too, which is good. But if you find someone in the minor leagues, depending upon the league, that has a K per 9 over 10 and a walk rate, a walks per 9 below 4 and a whip right around 1, that is an excellent pitcher, right? To put that into perspective for you, Quinn Matthews in low A, the same thing that Nate Dome is in, right? In the A ball range, had a K per 9 of 15. That's incredible.
Yes.
That's like Paul Skeens.
He was Dyson. Yeah.
That's insane. So Nate Dome has 11.27 K per 9. That's very good, right? With a whip of 1.19. So that tells me that he does have strikeout power. Anything over 10 tells me he's got strikeout power.
Well, you're striking out more than one guy per inning.
Absolutely.
So 62 innings, 77 Ks. I guarantee you they were looking at that.
Michael McGreevy has a K per 9 of like 6.
Right.
So if that just puts it into perspective, the type of pitcher that you're getting back.
Yes.
I love that when I looked at his stats, looked at his profile. I'm like, okay, this is good, right? He's kind of he's got strikeout punch. He's not going to walk a ton of people, and he's got runway to grow. So that's the second prospect. Number
Correct.
3, he's much further down on the ranking or not ranked. Frank Eli Salt. It's these last names you never know. He's a right-handed pitcher. He's 23. He's a little bit older and high A. He has 10.13 K per 9 and right around a 1 whip. Again, anything over 10 I feel okay about. This is just kind of the flyer throw-in guy. Who knows? He's probably going to be a reliever.
I think he's a reliever. Yeah.
But Dome has the potential to be a starter. So, okay, those are the 3 guys we got. Matt, you alluded at the beginning. Why didn't we get any top 100 prospects? Why didn't we get anybody super good like Johan Duran from the Twins, right? They netted 2 of the really good prospects / major league players. It's because of the years of control. We said that at the top. Helsley was a pure rental. If you want to talk about maximizing his potential of return, we should have done it in the last offseason to at least give someone an entire year of Helsley. I think that Mo did exactly what he could, the best he could, in a return for Helsley, given the environment out there. I heard him say too, Matt, I don't know if you saw this. He said that he was afraid with Helsley. That's why he traded him the day before. He was afraid that the music would stop and they would still have Helsley. He didn't want to hold him to the end because he wanted to cash in whenever he could, make sure he got him off the board. He knew Matz and Maton would have it would be easier to
Up
flip
until the
them at the
last
very
second.
end.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So he was, the second or third highest rated closer available just because of the controllable years left on these other guys.
Yeah. So I also I like this return. Jesus Baez was like the 92nd best prospect in Baseball America's rankings before the season. He slipped off a little bit. I mean, that when you're that low and you go up and down, right? You're towards the end of the list anyway. But to be 20 years old, to have some pop, but again, we've got this play on the infield kind of situation. So uh,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. Maybe he can move to the outfield. Maybe now, just call me crazy here. Maybe Heim Bloom is not going to let as many log jams happen and is going to make quicker decisions on our guys, and we
One
won't
can hope.
have as many stacked up.
Yeah.
On the other hand, what's wrong with stacking talent? I mean, we're going to get to the
Yeah.
Red Sox return here in a second. I mean, if this guy really shines on the infield, then here's what you do. You move the people out of the way that you need to have moved out of the way, which
Yeah.
we are going to see this offseason. People are going to get moved out of the way for JJ Weatherholt to come play in St. Louis because he's coming.
Yep.
He's torching AAA.
Yep.
So, again, I'm excited about him, but I'm also excited. I may even be more excited to see how Heim manages our assets in a way that Mo did not do a very good job. I expect him to be better at that. As far as Dome goes, again, high strikeout stuff. Like this is exactly what you want. And so if you're telling me that Heim Bloom and his guys went through the Mets system and they identified power bats and they identified strikeout arms, whatever team you are going to get the return from, those are the prototypes of the players that you want to have. And you're right. We probably waited too late on Helsley.
Yeah.
And to get anything for Helsley is a good return, let alone some power bats, some power arms that are young, that are controllable, that may develop well in our system. I mean, it could be 2027, and we see Nate Dome at the end of the year striking guys out in a major league uniform.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And just to put this into context too, some names that you might be familiar with, and if we traded for someone, this is their 8th and 14th best prospect, along with old Frank there at the end.
Yeah.
This is like us trading Tink Hintz and Chen Wei Lin, which is a like a high A starter. He's very tall. He's actually been pretty interesting this year. But I don't know if people would be okay if we traded Tink if you just asked somebody and they knew about them. So think about that. They traded somebody for Helsley.
Correct.
And Jesus Baez, the MLB.com, they have an updated ranking of the top 30. He's number 6 for us right now.
Yeah.
He's our 6th best prospect, ahead of Takao Roby, ahead of Tink Hintz, ahead of Yario Padilla, etc. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So
mm-hmm.
they think there's something in him. So
I did see Helsley come into the game for the Mets last night, and they were doing the Hells Bell stuff, and that kind of grossed me out because I hate the Mets. So like,
oh, you hate the Mets?
I hate the Mets. I sports hate any team that we've run into in the playoffs. Now, this has been a good 20 years ago that we're running into the Mets, but you know, I'm close to 40, so I remember all that. So I hate the Mets. I hate the Red Sox too. I hate the so it is a little tough to see Helsley come in, and there's part of me. I get kind of split on former Cardinals. You know, part of me is like, I hope he really does well, and I want to see, Helsley's a good guy. He was a great pitcher for us. Really enjoyed him. But on the other hand, I'm like, God, I will hope he blows every game down the stretch for them, Well, where do you land on that? Like former players and new teams?
That is really funny. So does that mean for Helsley, if they dim the lights, does it mean it's orange or blue?
Yeah,
that doesn't feel right.
It was a little different. Right. Yeah.
It depends. I don't know. I feel bad because I thought Helsley was pretty good. He handled all this pretty well. I think most major leaguers do, but I feel like I'm going to forget about it, to be honest. You know what I mean? Like, if he blows stuff, it is what it is. If he blows games, I'm going to be like, yeah, I've seen that before. Like, I know all of his warts. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen them. So when you see, like, the overall, like, the national audience being like, Helsley's doing this and that, and it's like, listen, well, I mean, I kind of have seen that for multiple years, so it is.
Well,
it is
that inning he pitched for the Mets last night, he gave up 2 hits and struck out 3, and I was like, okay, yep, that's about what you do. He probably had 34 pitches and won't be available again for 2.5 days, and that's how Helsley goes. Yeah.
Now, the Mets are going to feel pretty good with their bullpen now. With those 2 guys they have at the back. I mean, they have like 2 Helsleys. If one's not working, just go to the other one.
Correct.
That's pretty nice.
I was going to say real quick on Frank Elisalt, who also seems like he delivers milk in the 50s. You know what I mean? Like, that name is just like, how you doing, Frank? Like he's somewhere in New York just delivering milk. Yeah. So he is his fastball, good strikeout stuff, but his fastball is not overpowering. This is the kind of interesting stuff that I think that Heim is going to be good at. He's a low release guy. where he releases the ball. So he's got incredibly high IVB. So if you
Oh, yeah.
were remembering from our last winter, that's induced vertical break, meaning it looks like the ball is not traveling down. So again, like if this guy's throwing 95, it can appear to the guy hitting as 98 or 99 because it does not seem like it's going down. So again, I think we're just a level deeper on all this stuff. And I'm not saying Mozeliak couldn't have figured this kind of stuff out, but I really think this is where Heimblum and his team is going to shine, is finding these guys. And again, 2026, 2027, 2028, we may well see Frank Elisalt delivering the milk out of the bullpen, you know?
That's so like, gosh, that's so true. Like the glass bottles, I could just see it.
Yes.
I could see it.
Yep.
Yeah, thumbs up for me on the Helsley trade. I'm fine with it.
I think so too.
I think he did as good as he could have done.
I agree with you. If we'd done it in the offseason, these prospects would be even better. We did not do it in the offseason. That was a mistake. These are the prospects we have now. I like all the prototypes of what we got.
Yep. Can I tell you that this next trade is my favorite?
Okay.
I'll tell you why.
Really?
Yep, I'll tell you why. So the Red Sox traded for our dear friend Steven Matz. We
Steve.
received a first baseman. His name is Blaze Jordan, which is a cool name.
It is.
It's just a cool name. He's 22 years old. He's in AAA. This is a guy that went against the grain here as more of a major league ready guy who could come in and play. So Heim drafted this guy in 2020 out of high school with the Red Sox. Currently in AAA, he's batting .308 with a .377 on base and a .495 slug. That's good for an .872 OPS. That's good, fellas.
It is.
It's good. With a 140 WRC plus, right? Okay. Why do I love this? Steven Matz did nothing for us except for this year, and we got something back for him. That's it. Period. End of sentence. That's why. That's it. I mean, if you would have told me a few years ago when because Matz has been hurt for years.
He has.
We were like, oh my gosh, when's Matz coming back? Just never. Right?
He is. Right.
And so it's like the fact that we've netted something, I don't care who it would have been, to be straight with you.
Well,
the
on
fact
top
that we
of
were able
that,
to trade him is impressive.
The Sox are picking up about $5 million he has left on this deal this year. So they're taking
I didn't
$5
know
million
that.
off our book. I mean, he's getting paid $11 million this year, so he's got the prorated whatever's left of that. It's somewhere close between $4 and $5 million. That's coming off our books. Blaze Jordan's coming in. Apparently, we also loved Blaze Jordan in the 2020 draft.
Oh.
But it is, again, hilarious that our franchise, and that's the legendary Randy Flores draft where we got Walker and Wynn out of the 2020, and that was the truncated draft because of the COVID stuff. Oh, yeah, and Burley. I forgot about that. Oh, wow, what a draft. I mean, what a draft. So it's hilarious that Flores loved him. And now, any time over the next couple of years that we do trades with the Red Sox, I'm just thinking, man, we're fleecing them because I know Heim knows that system because that is his claim to fame. He took a Red Sox system that was really, really badly ranked and turned it into the number one ranked farm system in the major leagues. That is, you see, like the Roman Anthony kind of guys.
Yep.
That's hot. That's all his doing. So I think what this means for Luken Baker is see you later, goodbye.
Right.
The fact that he plays first base, can play third base a little bit, that's a little bit concerning. I also think a little bit concerning about him is I think people thought there was going to be prodigious power with Blaze Jordan. I think there's pretty good power and there's really good bat to ball skills. I'll be honest with you, I'm a little bit worried that we just got Luken Baker but younger. Yep. But if we get a Luken Baker but younger, because Luken Baker just smashed Memphis Redbirds, he smashed that league. If he can come up and he can contribute, again, what did we give up? Nothing. Absolutely
that's the key
nothing.
right there.
Steven Matz was not going to change our destiny.
No.
So if this guy someday can come in and whatever, be a DH against lefties, he smashes lefties, then that's great.
Yep. He's 22 is another key.
Yes.
So
correct.
22 in AAA is beating the curve, right? That's JJ
is.
Weatherholt territory.
Right.
Now, you're right. The stink on Blaze Jordan is that he has batting practice power where he hits it out of the stadium, but real in-game power it struggles a little bit more. I also read a story about him where he apparently won a home run derby at the age of 13 and hit a home run 500 feet. Now, this is like Bigfoot territory. Come on now. Is that real? 500 feet to 13. That's a
metal bats. I don't know. Maybe.
I guess that's true. Here's another interesting piece about him. He is Rule 5 eligible this offseason.
He's going to have to go on the 40-man.
He's going to have to go on the 40-man. So there's a chance we see him next year at some point in some capacity, just to see what he's got because he's
the Luken Baker. He just is.
He's 22. Luken's 29, I think, now.
Right.
So, yeah. I think Blaze is going to get him out of there. So I love this one because Matt's gave us something, right?
Yes, and I also hate the Red Sox, and I can't wait for Mats to blow some games to them. I'm very excited.
Yes, me too, 100%. If there's a team I sports hate the most, it's Boston, the Red Sox.
More than the Cubs?
Oh, absolutely. The Cubs have done nothing to us.
The Brewers are getting up there for me.
Here's the thing. The only reason is because the Red Sox beat us twice in the World Series.
Yes, I hate
that. That's it. Like, that's it.
I do.
The Brewers, I honestly, like, it's sickening to me, but I kind of respect it. I don't know how.
Oh, I respect the heck. I mean, the Brewers came in and just Monstars stole our devil magic. They just stole it from us.
I think I saw just like a second ago. I think they had like 20 plus hits last night. If you look at their lineup, listen,
insane.
The Bill's going to come due for them. Something's going to happen. Like the devil, the witch magic, something is going to stop.
Yep.
Okay. Last trade we did here. Oh, Phil Maton, who was awesome for us. We got two prospects for him from the Rangers. He gets to go pitch in that really hitters-friendly park, so he's going to be even better. Or pitchers-friendly park this year. He's going to be even better than what he was for us because we also have a similar park that helps pitchers. We got Mason Molina. I thought it was funny that Katie Wu, in her article on The Athletic, had to say, no relation to Yadier. Like, can you imagine us being like, we don't
need another catcher for our system, but the fact that he's not a catcher, like, the guy just missed his calling. I realize he's a lefty pitcher and he can't be a lefty catcher, but come on, man.
That is really funny. We got Mason Molina. He's 21 years old and high A. So the profile out of the draft was a mid-rotation starter, number 4, 3, 4, 5. So remember what I said about K per 9. He's got 11.9 K per 9 right now. The highest of any of these guys out here with a 1.12 whip, telling me he doesn't walk that many dudes and there's not much contact going on there. It's one or so. That's what you want. For Phil Maton, if you would have just given me this guy, I would have felt great.
Just him.
Yeah, I felt great.
Yeah.
We got another dude, Skylar Hales. He's 23 years old. A little bit older, still over that 10. He's got 10.91 K per 9, 1.33 FIP. His ERA is pretty inflated right now, I was looking, but his expected fielding independent ERA is much, much better. So, yet again, nothing to get, too hyped about, but these are strikeout guys, especially Molina. He's a strikeout guy for sure.
No, I think what I'm hoping, especially with these pitchers, with Dome, Elisalt, delivering the milk, Molina and Hales, is you know how Mo is like, well, yeah, there's nothing to help us. There's nothing to help us in our minor league system. Well, there's nothing to help us because all we have is contact guys in our minor league system. So we just added. You just went through the K per 9 of all 4 of these pitching prospects. Every single one of them is striking out more than one batter per inning. All of them.
Yeah.
So again, is that starts to filter up our system, and you just saw in our draft coverage, we just drafted a bunch of high strikeout pitchers. You're just going to see a difference in the Cardinals. The Cardinals have got to stop ranking 27, 28, 29, 30 in strikeout rate in the major leagues, and this is how you do it. We're not going to go out and sign these guys. We have to get them in our system somehow. So again, we may never see Molina or Hales ever. But these are the types of flyers you need to be taking when, again, you're trading nothing. Phil Maton was excellent. We paid him $2 million this year. He's not going to help us make the playoffs. We just got 2 flyers on strikeout guys. This is what you want.
We picked up Phil Maton, like I said, on the way back to St. Louis. Like he was just, we saw him in like a Panera. And we're like, do you want to come pitch for us? And he's like, sure. Right. And I was just looking as you were talking. You're talking about possible bullpen help, help later on down the line. Gordon Graceffo, I'm going to pick on him for 1 second. We're going to see a lot more of him.
Okay? We are.
The second half of the year, whether we like that or not.
Ryan Fernandez back up, Roderick Munoz. It's not going to be pretty. This is not going to be good for the major league roster. But again, I think it's over.
So his K per 9, Gordon Graceffo throughout the minor leagues, minus his A-plus season, right? So we're talking Peoria. Never, ever reached a 9. Never. Okay? He's on our team. And in the major leagues right now, his K per 9 is 8.06. Everybody I just told you is in a lower version of A-ball or high A, right around an A-ball. Has a higher K per 9 or right around any of these guys. So that already tells me that what they're looking for is stuff that we clearly don't have. And that's no offense to Gordon Graceffo, but you have got to miss bats, especially if you want to be successful in the playoffs, which that's what we want to do. You can't have contact guys in the playoffs. You have got to have swing and miss.
I'm not sure what this is going to do for us in 2026, but in the future, you're like further down the line, you're going to see a different Cardinals. You just are.
You are. And as we get to the end of our little wrap up here, so we had, was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 prospects that we
Hmm.
got back for 3 dudes, all rentals. Just enjoy the possibility that these guys might be good for us, right?
Right.
Thank you, Mo, for going out and not just completely botching it. I think I would have been a little more. I would have been hesitant about giving us a positive review on this if we would have traded like Burleson for some people. Like, let let Heim do all of that, right? And
Yep.
that
He's got the whole offseason.
in his
We will
press
really see.
conference, he did echo that he's going to basically let him do that in the offseason, which tells me that they weren't going to be stupid about this. Like, thank
Yeah.
God, right? That
Yeah.
they followed the mantra here, the runway that was laid out. Just trade the dudes you can trade. Don't worry about everything else, and let Heim do it in the future.
These are really, just want to celebrate this for a second. These are the last John Mosey-like decisions we will ever have.
Yeah, I mean
That's it.
that's a
There are no
win,
more
right?
decisions the rest of the year, really. I mean, maybe who to call up. I guess that is a decision in September, but it's just two guys, and if one of them's not JJ Weatherholt, I don't know what we're doing.
Yes, I agree. I agree, and I'm really excited to start talking about the future of the roster later on
Yeah.
in the
Yep.
year.
Yep.
Because we have some of the biggest roster decisions that we've ever had in the past 20 years on this
Correct.
team coming
Yep.
up.
Yep.
And I'm starting to kick that around a little bit, and these trades are going to do nothing but help that. I really do
Right.
believe that. And
I think
even
so
if we
too.
never see these guys and Heim starts to trade some dudes, these are also assets to do that with.
They are.
The
Yep.
lower the prospect, the better the trade value. Look
Yep.
at AJ Preller and what he did with Leo DeVry
Mm-hmm.
at shortstop prospect.
Mm-hmm.
He may never become something.
Mm-hmm.
He might become something. So
Right.
it's almost like the possibility of this is like tantalizing to these
The
teams.
variance is much wider
Ooh,
on
you know?
lower. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Right,
Yep.
right, right. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Any last thoughts on the trade deadline? Okay.
It was free. Maybe they'll hit, maybe they won't, but we got the right kind of guys.
Doesn't it feel like we went to the casino with no money and left with something?
We left with the possibility of
You
something.
know?
Yeah, it's just so good. Like,
Yeah.
again, this is just so over with, and we
Yeah.
got the right prototypes. I like it.
Okay, good. All right, let's get back to the team here, and we're gonna select a player and pitcher of the month of July. Let's start with a player because that's
Okay.
just much easier to get through. Let's start with you, Matt. Well, who is your player of the month of July? So position player.
I took a very long look at cheating and doing JJ Weatherholt.
I wondered if you were gonna do something like
Because
that.
he just was completely torching. I took a long look at Willie. His bat's been on fire, but I suspect that you and I have the same one, and I suspect that that player is Jordan Walker.
Oh, it's
In
not.
the month of July, it's not okay. Jordan Walker in the month of July is hitting 373, 485, 807. He is on fire in the month of July, and
Yep.
again, we've been saying it for a month now. He really has got to produce to keep the plot armor on, and Jordan Walker right now is producing swing change, batting stance change.
Big time.
Brant Brown involved in that. Thank you very much. They sent him down to Springfield to work on it, and he is hitting the ball. No home runs yet, but 6 doubles in the month of July, and just some missiles, scud missiles off the center field wall
Absolutely.
at like 108, 109. So again, he's doing it, and you don't just want Jordan Walker to be on the team. You want Jordan Walker to be batting like third or fourth in your lineup. And we need to see this big time in the second half.
I love literally everything you just said. The only reason I
Mhm.
didn't pick him was a little bit of a small sample size because he hasn't played that much. He was hurt in July. He came back. It was like 60 or something. I can't remember how many at bats. Here's the thing about Jordan. It is going to take one small tweak, and he's hitting 40 home runs. I'm telling you.
Yes. Yes.
Like we are on the just razor's edge of him being like something legitimate.
Well,
Like,
we're on the. I think you're right. We're on the razor's edge of it being really good. We're on the razor's edge of it being never either.
and that's
You know
where
what
the
I mean?
razor's edge is terrifying. Yep.
Right. This is where
It is.
he's at.
He's making in the last month, though, even last night, he's making some of the best contact I've seen him make since 2023.
And the best swing decisions too.
Yes.
He's laying off the crap.
Yes.
Not all the way. Like he's still striking out sometimes, but I saw him once this month. Like granted, this is one single at bat, but he took a slider away and he just duck snorted it over the second baseman's head. And I was like, well, wow, because a month ago that would have been a strikeout. He would have looked frustrated and angry and stomped back to the dugout. And like that's different.
Here's the beautiful thing about him is his exit velocity and his hard contact rate. Like his swing speed, all of that is what teams will just they're going to be salivating over because you can't again teach that. You can switch somebody's stance in their approach.
Right.
Right. That is why. I mean, you look at what the Reds did when they traded for Key Brian Hayes from the Pirates. Defensive first guy, right? Has the profile where if he tweaks a few things, he can be very good, right?
Right.
This is the
Right.
Jordan Walker argument: is that he has the most plot armor on anybody on his team because if he unlocks it, he's kind of like Aaron Judge. If he
Correct.
doesn't, he's terrible. So it's like you
Yep.
have to take that bet.
Yep.
All
That's
right.
why I immediately picked him, small sample size included,
Oh yeah, I
because
get it.
it's
I
the
get it.
key to the whole franchise right now.
It is. I get it totally. I picked. I just went totally stat based. I almost picked Willie, but Willie had a 25% strikeout rate this last month, which
Okay.
is not great. Right? It's not great.
Okay.
But
It's a
he's
little
selling
above
out
league
for more
average.
power. He's
Yeah.
selling out for more power. You can tell. I picked Burley. It's not
Okay.
a sexy pick, but I mean, he's awesome this whole month. 265, 378 on base, 482 slug, 860 OPS, and 145 WRC plus.
Yep. That's great.
Here's the big reason I picked him: a 14% walk rate.
Mm.
Burley, I mean, my God, he's a lumberjack up there. He's going to swing at everything. So a 14% walk rate tells me like he's being a little more selective. And I think that raw hitting talent, this is crazy. I think he's number two, straight up number two. It's Yvonne and it's Burley right now. I think they're the two best hitters on our team. Just
I'm going to
straight
say
up.
something quietly. I would rather have Alec Burleson playing first base than Wilson Contreras.
So you can say it louder because
I
it's true.
would. I would. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I love Willie, but I would love to trade Willie. I mean, I'd love to trade Willie and Arnado this offseason. Because
Yeah, I
Burleson's
agree.
right. He's right there. His defensive metrics are good at first base. And he's never going to hit 40 home runs, but he's really starting to figure it out. He's pretty high average, has some pop, and if he's going to start walking, that's a whole new dimension to his game.
He is also an excellent defender at first base.
He is.
Anytime I see him in there, he makes some play, and I'm like, that's kind of Goldie-esque a little bit. And
Yeah.
Goldie was really good, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Here's something about Willie and Nato before we get to the pitcher. If we can't trade them, can we not just eat the money and release them? I
boy.
want to do that so bad because who cares at a point? You're paying these
I don't know if I'd
guys
eat the money
nothing.
on Willie. I don't know if I would do that for sure.
Okay,
I mean,
okay.
Willie has positive value.
He
Arnado,
does.
maybe this shoulder thing helps to explain some of his offensive stuff. But if his shoulder injury, he's on the IL right now. If he's been injured, why didn't we know that?
Yeah.
Why have we been trotting him out here? Because he is just a shell of himself, and I would
Yeah.
be happy to get rid of him, even including eating $42 million.
No, you're right. I was getting a little trigger happy with Willie. Willie's still a positive guy. He's going to be like a 3-WAR player this year, which is awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Burley needs to cycle in and out of first base more, which is good that Yvonne is starting to maybe play the outfield so that Willie can get into the DH. Not that he's been a bad defender, but
No.
I think Burley, again, second best hitter on our team. I was shocked to see that walk rate. I was like, well, for that
Yeah.
alone, you got to be my guy.
You're right. You're right. That's a
Yeah.
change. Yeah.
All right, pitcher. You want to give me your pitcher? This one's tough.
Sure. It was no starter. I like cycled through the starters splits in July and just laughed at all of them. It is Riley O'Brien, who had you too?
Yes.
Yeah. 0.82 ERA, 11 innings pitched. Look, there was the All-Star break. He's a reliever. The innings pitch is not going to be super high. 16 Ks.
Yep.
And this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking I see a two-headed closer in JoJo Romero and Riley O'Brien for the end of the season. And Rob he is painting 99-mile-an-hour sinkers with crazy movement. There's sliders going all over the place, frisbees, as you call them. I have been in love
That's
with
what it
Rob
is.
for a very long time, and it is so great. This is 100% a Heim Bloom find and
It
put on
is.
the roster. And oh my God, he looks good right now.
They said it. They
Yep.
said it. I picked Rob too because when we picked him up and we saw him in that first spring training,
Oh my
we were
gosh.
like, who is this? And how was he just picked up off the scrap bin?
It's like
Okay.
he is like editing gravity as the ball goes up. His ball it goes in so many weird directions. It's crazy.
Okay, so I picked him as well. In 11 innings, he had a 13.9 K per nine.
Mm.
Okay. Paul Skeens, up to this point in the year, has a 9.88 K per nine. Okay. I'm not saying Riley O'Brien's better than Paul Skeens. I'm just putting it into perspective for you that is an insane high rate. He struggles with walks a little bit. Okay. That's because when your pitches break 6 feet, you can't fit it in a box sometimes.
When you're warping gravity, sometimes it's yeah.
Yeah. When they go through a portal and end up somewhere else.
Correct.
He also is absolutely the stuff plus metric on Fangraphs is very interesting. Pitching plus. It takes velocity, break, movement, all of that kind of stuff, and it gives you a ranking where 100 is like the standard, right? Just like WRC plus.
Yeah.
This stuff plus model loves Riley O'Brien.
Of course it does.
Because his stuff is disgusting.
How can you defy gravity? Yeah.
He is now JoJo's stats were better this month. JoJo Romero. And he had he was my runner up. He had a great month. But Riley, it could be a closer. He's the only person. Helsley had the highest like stuff plus on our team, pitching plus statistics. Riley is right behind him. I can't believe that we found him for nothing. And he is finally putting it together. He's healthy. He's fine. He's back into the groove. I am so happy that he's here now. I
agree. Yeah, that was an easy one for me. And you're right. JoJo has been good. Outside of April, JoJo has been nails, excellent. And that is one more guy I would that they got calls on that I wouldn't minded if we had traded, because JoJo's return might have rivaled Helsley because he's got next year's control too. But again, there's always this offseason if we want to do something like that, and Heim wants to take a look at that. So.
Yep. No, I totally agree. I'm so happy with really both of those guys. So you'll see Riley in more high leverage. Like, you're not going to see him pitch the fifth. Like, he's going to come out, and it's going to be later on now with all these other dudes out here.
Right.
All right, so let's get into the next week or so of games. We have a couple of just boppers waiting for us here, right?
Yep.
Dodgers series away, Cubs series at home. So let's start with the Dodgers series. What do you care about it? Are you looking for anything specific?
I just have three things, and this is for the whole week's worth of games.
Okay. Yeah.
One is, does Jordan Walker continue to produce? Now, it doesn't have to be at 373, 435, 807. That's not going to happen.
Yes, it does.
Doesn't have to be that. Right, but is he going to continue to produce? And I'm probably going to say this every week through the end of the year. What does Libby's start look like this week? Yeah. Pretty good on the last one. Again, fell apart a little bit, but like this fatigue thing, they got him 2 weeks of rest. Does he kind of bounce back and start to look like the pitcher from the first half again early in the season? And then number 3, lottery balls. Just send them my way.
Yeah.
In a perfect world, here's what I'd have. I'd have our starters pitch good games. I'd have our offense show up, and I'd have our bullpen blow it and us lose like 6-5. And I would feel so good about that because we just traded our best bullpen pieces. A, the lottery pieces are coming in, and B, our pitchers are doing well. C, our hitters are doing right. That's exactly what I want.
I absolutely agree. I'm going to be laser focused on Walker. I'm going to be laser focused on Gorman. This is it for Gorman.
It is.
If he goes out with a sad little violin cry at the end of the year, I don't think he's on the team.
He's not been as good. He peaked in June. He's not been as good in July. He's going to get a run now with Arenado. And I saw a report that they're in no hurry to bring Arenado back. You think?
Yeah.
From the IL, right? Gorman's going to be at third base every single day. He's going to be playing every single. This is it. This is his tryout for the future.
It is. And I want to watch Newt as well too, because they're all coming back. Gorman and Newt are coming back from injury. Let's see how they are. The Cubs series. This is the next Sonny Gray start that I want to watch. He's starting against the Padres, I believe. Like, he's going to have another start before then, but I highlighted the Cubs ones because the Cubs hit a lot of home runs. Okay.
Yeah.
And Sonny's teetering on falling off a cliff here for me. He's very, very close. And I did a bit of a dive on why that is, and it's his straight stuff. His sinker, his fastball, his cutter are getting obliterated. Sinker specifically. This year, their opponents are batting 307 off his sinker. Last year, they batted 199. He still has an elite slider sweeper. He still has an elite curveball. His fastball, cutter, and sinker are getting destroyed. And it's due to a very, very, very minimal drop in velocity. But you're seeing it. But if he can't have other pitches play off his sweeper, he is absolutely Pop-Tart toast. He is. I'm serious. And that is terrifying a little bit, but please go ahead.
He's 35 years old.
He is. And that's what I want to see with the Cubs series. How do you navigate that? Right? Because there have been pitchers who have been successful who don't have high velocity.
Right.
He's going to have to change how he does it. Because these guys, I'm telling you, they will just, as soon as they see spin, right? As soon as they see a little dot for the sweeper, they're not going to swing. They're just going to sit back, wait for this batting practice sinker, and tee off on it.
Yep. Yep.
So I am lasered in on Sonny to see if they change something. Maybe the almighty Pajes behind the plate can straighten him out. Yeah, that's a whole nother discussion, but I'm
Pedro
focused on
Paez,
Sonny.
we'll see you later. Yeah.
Yeah, we will see you later. Okay. All right. Well, I think that pretty much wraps it up. Trade deadline's gone and passed. Appreciate all the stuff you did for us, Mo. This will be the last time we have to talk about you at a trade deadline.
Correct.
And let's hope Walker keeps hitting missiles off the wall here. But
love it.
That's right. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of the Redbird Rundown, your go-to source for all Cardinals news. Please subscribe, rate, review the show to help us grow. Follow us on the socials, Twitter, Blue Sky, and Facebook for all the latest news. Keep your rally caps on and make these games interesting, but also lose for a better draft pick. Let's go, Cards.